Hey guys, so for this episode, I wanted to talk about movies about grief that have helped me in my own grief journey. So I'm going to showcase three of them, and each one is about a different kind of loss. And I'm going to go in order of when they were released from oldest to newest. Maybe if I talk about them, they can help you too. I got my heart pillow here. I'm comfy. I hope you're comfy too as we talk about these. So the first movie is from 1990 and it's a classic. Most people have heard of this. It's the movie Ghost. Now, I first saw this movie in the early 90s when I was a kid, and since I lost my dad in 95 as a 10-year-old, this movie really helped me learn a little bit more about loss. And what it's about is a woman's husband is murdered, and he follows her around as a ghost, as a spirit, to get justice and to spend more time with her. Now, there were some parts of the movie that was scary because, it's dealing with murder and bad people and all of that. So I was a little bit scared of some parts as a kid, but it mostly comforted me. And one of the other things that stuck out to me about this movie is that the couple's wedding song just happened to be the same wedding song of my parents. So it's a weird parallels where, this woman loses her husband, and my mom lost her husband, my dad, when he was still fairly young, unexpectedly as well, and that they both had the same wedding song. So that definitely stuck out to me and made it memorable for me. But overall, it's a touching story of loss. So the second movie I'm going to talk about is from 2016, and it's a movie called Manchester by the Sea. This movie was one I could really relate to because it's about a teen boy who unexpectedly loses his father. His uncle, his dad's brother, ends up being sort of a surrogate dad to him after the loss. He becomes his legal guardian. They just happen to be in a town in Massachusetts, like where I grew up. And the movie really sheds light on not only the loss of a parent, but also the loss of a brother from the uncle's perspective. And it's one of the most heartbreaking movies I've ever seen. There's one particular scene that really stuck with me that's just absolutely devastating, and I don't want to give it away, but it involves when the teen boy goes into the freezer at home and his grief is suddenly triggered. And I think it's a perfect representation of how grief works, and something I could definitely relate to, where certain things will trigger our grief when we don't expect it, and how our brain tries to comprehend with loss by sometimes disturbing things. It will definitely make you cry, but sometimes that's what you need to let your own grief out. And I felt like this movie really helped me because I could really relate in a lot of ways with the loss of a parent to that boy. And the acting's superb. And there's other devastating things you find out as well about other loss that comes up. And the third movie I'm going to talk about was also released in 2016. And it's a movie that doesn't get a lot of credit because it's not well known. And it's a movie called Collateral Beauty. It's an incredible, incredible movie with an amazing concept. It's about a man who loses his little girl, his daughter. He's just fell into this depression mode and numbness, and he's having a very difficult time going on with life. There's also this twist in it that you don't see coming, and it really deepens the meaning of the movie as well. So it's honestly one of the most unique movies I've ever seen, and one of the most beautiful. It really highlights how important it is to have support after a loss, and it also sheds light on how much a loss can affect a person and their life, and it changes their entire world, and how hard it can be for them to just put one step in front of the other and keep moving along. So I know there are a lot of other grief-themed movies that I've yet to see, but these are the three that have stuck with me the most in my own grief journey so far. And I also like how they're about very different kinds of losses. You have the loss of a spouse, the loss of a parent, the loss of a brother, and the loss of a child, which is one of the most, if not the most difficult losses. So yeah, go ahead and check these movies out if you're in the mood to watch these and you want to relate to something. Sometimes you're not ready to watch movies like that in your grief journey, and that's okay too. But they have helped me to not feel so alone and to let the grief out when I needed it the most. Yeah, I hope these help you. Let me know what you think when you watch them. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching this and for listening, and I will see you on the next episode of Coffee and Grief. Take care.